Jim, your immediate reaction, and what do you think Jay Powell's thinking?
Well, I don't think anybody thought it would be anything other than much hotter than people expected. This 80, 82. I mean, 82, you go back, and it was a period where the Fed was just coming out of a terrible rate cycle. I mean, these comparisons leave me very cold. What really does matter is that we got rid of the word transitory. I mean, I think Jay correctly anticipated this. But if you're on the conference calls, you know that a lot of it is just COVID-related. So I think he's going to get it right again. I think a lot of the wise people on Wall Street going to bet against Jay. That's been a horrendous bet ever since he realized in 2018 not to do things lockstep. So Jay wins again.
Jay wins again, and that means it works for Jay. It works for Jay, and it works for the market.
Exactly. And I want your bulletin to reflect that. Your morning bulletin.
Okay. And then my other question is, we've been debating.
Admit that you do it. It's great.
Thank you. We've been the deal book you're referring to. But let me ask you this: we've been talking all morning about Starbucks and this vote. How important do you think it is, and how important do you think it is to the company and the stock?
Well, I've reached out to one of the representatives there who is unhappy, and I would like to think that it's not that important. But the one thing you have to recognize is the unions are thinking, if we can get Starbucks, we can get anybody, because Starbucks does offer the best of benefits. So from that sense, I think that you can vote with your feet. If you leave Starbucks, it's pretty easy to get a job that's higher pay. But I think they got to work on these work rules, because I think that it is too easy for people to say, you know what? My boss is telling me to work the 5:30 shift. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go to another place unless we unionize. But remember, they only won one, and they're 19 up in Buffalo, and the rest. So they won 1 out of 19. That's not so great. So I'm saying Starbucks is actually net the winner here, which is why the stock is not down. You would think they would get more than 1 out of 19, don't you?
Yeah, no, look, I've been talking all morning how I think we've been talking about this in a breathless way, but I think there's an element of which it's symbolic. And there's something going on in this. The question is there something going on in the country? And I think there is. But maybe it's not even related to this, because this seems to be a particular situation that doesn't seem to be a truly grassroots effort even, but seems to be the union trying to use this to push in elsewhere.
Exactly. I mean, can you imagine Yum is you could organize Yum so much more easy, McDonald's, Burger King, but they went after the best. If they can win there, they can win anywhere, and they didn't. I mean, it was just a very small fraction. And look, there are issues at Starbucks, but remember, they give you college, they give you mental, which is really pretty incredible. If you have psychological issues, they give you everything. It's like trying to go after Costco. And Costco, what an amazing quarter. So, look, I don't think they won. I want to dig deeper into it, but I thought that both Kevin Johnson and Howard Schultz went there, and the result was people like Starbucks. They like to work there, but there are people who just say, I don't like the hours. And there's some really bad hours. There's some bad shifts, meaning hard shifts. Yeah. And you wouldn't want them. I mean, I had a friend who worked in an Albertson Starbucks, and she kept getting stuck at the 5:30 a.m. shift, and she wanted her off the shift. But the store managers are really powerful. Couldn't get off it.
Hey, guys, somebody posited earlier, and I think it's an interesting point, that Starbucks has so many company-owned stores, like 8,000 of them. If you look at McDonald's, I think McDonald's is only 2,700 or so out of 35,000 franchisees. And it's a lot harder to go after the franchisees. If you want to do it, you have to go after somebody who has a lot of company-owned stores, because that's where you can really make some big difference if you're the union,
Correct. Yeah. But, look, if I were the union, I'd be saying, you know what? Let's target somebody else. I mean, the fact is, you can get a job anywhere right now in this country. And rather than unionize, just say, okay, look, I'm going to go over to Wendy's, across the street, make more money. I mean, it really is. Right now, there's just a moment where the posted price of what you're going to get is different from what you can negotiate. Imagine a worker being able to negotiate. There's negotiation power by people who typically. I mean, Karen Cramer worked at a McDonald's. She still got that burn that you get from the fry thing, and she did whatever she could take. And now it's like, listen, if I'm going to work fries, you know what? I'm going to ask for eggs. They may not get it, but this is a really lousy time to organize.